In 1981, a mailman working in the city of Carson City, Nevada, went to the home of Mr. Chris Colson, an 83-year-old man living alone. The mailman opened the mailbox to deliver a letter, but was surprised to find a letter he had delivered 2 weeks earlier still in the box, meaning Mr. Chris had not taken it. He was puzzled and looked at the house, noticing the lights were on and the car was in the driveway. He knocked on the door, but no one answered. He peeked through the window and saw Mr. Chris lying on the floor, swollen and dead. He immediately called the authorities. The police came, broke down the door, and confirmed Mr. Chris had passed away from a heart attack. They moved the body to the medical examiner, who determined he had been dead for a long time without anyone knowing. They searched for any relatives or heirs but found none. The city of Nevada seized the house and put it up for auction after announcing it for 6 months in case any relatives or creditors came forward to claim any debts owed by Mr. Chris. After 6 months, no one came forward, so they auctioned the house. A man named Mark Hanley, who had sold everything he owned, including his and his wife's cars, and taken out loans, decided to buy the house. This was his last bit of money, and he planned to live in the house and renovate it gradually as it was old. Mark and his family moved into the house with the old furniture as they had no money to spend. From the first and second days, they started experiencing strange things, especially after sunset. They heard strange noises, whispers, and saw lights turning on and off by themselves, doors slammed, and windows opened by themselves. They began to feel uneasy, thinking the house might be haunted by Mr. Chris's spirit because it was bought from a man who had died. Despite his wife's pleas to leave, Mark insisted they stay because they had no other place to go. The strange events escalated, and Mark started seeing the ghost of a boy around 14 years old holding an ice cream. The ghost appeared more frequently, always on the staircase, and then would disappear. His wife finally took their children and moved out to a friend's house. Mark, left alone, decided to confront the situation by hiring mediums and exorcists, but they all fled in fear after seeing the ghost of the boy. One day, Mark decided to install heating pipes himself as he couldn't afford to hire workers. He lifted the wooden floorboards and found bags hidden underneath. Upon opening them, he discovered decomposed bodies. Shocked, he kept opening more floorboards and found more bodies. Realizing they had been sleeping above a graveyard of corpses, investigators were called, and they found 46 bodies in total. A search of the house revealed old cars in the backyard linked to the bodies. A diary of Mr. Chris was found, detailing his crimes from 1944 when he bought the house. He had killed people he deemed unworthy and hid their bodies in his house. The last entry described his regret after killing a boy who turned out to be the sole breadwinner for his family, making Chris stop his killing spree. Mark, upon discovering the diary, decided to use the story of the haunted house to his advantage, claiming he saw the ghost of the boy to attract attention. He eventually sold the house at a high price to a businessman who turned it into a hotel for thrill seekers and ghost hunters, making a fortune. Years later, Mark fell seriously ill and, on his deathbed, confessed to a journalist that he had fabricated the ghost story. Authorities then investigated the hotel and found the businessman had set up fake ghost effects and bribed ghost hunters to validate the hauntings. The businessman and the ghost hunters were arrested, ending the legend of the haunted house. If you enjoyed this story and want more thrilling tales, make sure to subscribe to our channel Swift Tales and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for your support.